One of the most asked questions I get is which suburb is seeing the most price drops or increases, and where should I be buying and investing? That is a question we're going to answer in today's video. Jeremy Knight, your favorite Austin realtor. Right now, I'm going to go through the September closings, and we're going to show you who's seeing the biggest drops, the biggest increases, and where you as a consumer may want to consider buying, because guess what? As rates drop, prices are going to continue to go up around the Austin area. If you don't believe me, see my last video right here. But let's get right into it. So let's start with the one that you always want to hear about, and let's start with Georgetown. So Georgetown is one of those areas that we see a lot of movement on. Now, Georgetown is flat year over year at a median sales price of $460,000. If we look at what is sold in the last month, most of the sales are under $500,000. You got 69, 62, and 7, all under the $500,000 price. But if we look at the average pricing shows us down 4% year over year. Now, real quick, I want to show you the pendings. Pendings for Georgetown have actually gone up. Pendings are up 36.7% right here. So keep in mind, if we see more rate drops, you could see more people back in the market. So where are we at right now? September over the last 3 years is almost identical from 22, 23, and 24, all in the same range. Now, what areas do you want to hear about? Drop which areas you do want to hear about down below, because I'm going to go through and show you all of those right now. All right, so let's go to the next on our list. And the next on our list is going to be Liberty Hill. One of the ones that you ask about the most is Liberty Hill. And if I miss one of these, make sure you reach out to us. If you want more information, you can reach out on our website there. We do a lot for our clients. So primarily most of our clients, we actually go through and break down these numbers even more. So if we have a client looking in maybe Liberty Hill, San Marcos, wherever it is, and looking at a specific area, we go through and actually narrow down and use this data right here to give them more info. So let's look at Liberty Hill. Liberty Hill is down 15% from last year at $435,000. If we look at the pricing though, the pricing from the peak of 2022 is actually down as well. There was a median of 525. So we are seeing this pretty drastic drop over September. Now, if we look at pending sales in this area now, this is where things get pretty interesting. Pending sales show that they are down 3.4%. And look where they're closing at. Closing 92% of list price. So if you're looking at Liberty Hill is one of those areas that might be getting a little soft, might be an area you consider for a long-term purchase. What do you think? You tell me in the comment section. Is Liberty Hill one of those markets that you're going to see continued growth in the future? Or is it an area we should start abandoning? You tell me in the comment section. Let's go to one that is always in the news, and that's because Elon Musk is bringing tons of industrial. We've heard about this area because they are just seeing a large amount of growth, and that's Kyle. Kyle is down year over year at 7.4%, down to $350,000. If we look at what sold last month, a majority definitely under 400K. So if you're getting homes above 400K, you're getting them well above the median. So make sure if you're looking in Kyle that you are trying to get in that 350 or under price point. But look, it's another one of those suburbs that saw a huge drop. September of 23 and 24 were almost identical, and we saw a pretty significant drop between those to the tune of about 7.4%. Now, with all of the market madness and people getting back in the market, are we seeing more pendings in this area? And yes, we are. We're up 3.9% in pendings, and list price to close price ratios at 93.4%. So not too bad there if you're trying to get something with a good deal. Now let's go to one place that's really close to there, and that's Buda. We'll start off, since we're already in this slide, we'll start off looking at Buda. So median price is down 3.8% year over year for Buda. A majority of the sales are still under $400,000. Now, Buda is one of those areas. It's close to Austin. It's a good location. There's lots of shopping. Cabela's is there. There's on the west side, you can actually get the toll road into town. So people are still moving to Buda, and a lot of you reach out to me to go to Sunfield. And remember, Sunfield's one of those areas with a really high tax rate. So if you are looking at Sunfield, reach out to us so we can make sure you're getting a good deal in Sunfield. Well, what do you think? Down 3.8% year over year. If we look over the last 3 years, we've seen prices decline from the peak at 22. The 22 peak year, I'm saying peak year, not the peak of May, but peak year at the same time was $435,000 down to 379,000. That's a pretty significant drop, probably 11% drop from all three. But are more buyers buying in this area now that interest rates have dropped? Now they haven't really dropped. There was a short change drop. So let's see if pendings are up, and pendings are not up in this area. We saw that Kyle definitely saw more pendings. So what do you think? 95% of list price ratio, pretty interesting for an area that has a lot of inventory. So a lot of inventory, a good spot to buy because locationally it's a good spot to buy. You tell me. I mean, in the price points we're looking at, under 500, you got 3.3 months, 2.9 months. So I guess inventory is slightly lower in Buda than I thought. But you tell me, do you think that Buda is a place to buy? Now let's go to one that I personally live in. And this is one I think that you're going to be shocked by the numbers, and that is Dripping Springs. So, Dripping Springs, area I live and love. Now, Dripping Springs is down to $600,000. Now, think about Dripping Springs a little bit differently because this is just Dripping Springs, the city. If you put in the Southwest, so there are schools that are in South Austin and Austin, like my neighborhood is still considered Austin, but I'm in Dripping Springs schools. Now, those school districts have a high that are at South Austin are much higher prices, and they're building a lot more affordable homes in the Dripping Springs near downtown Dripping Springs under $500,000. So it's so shocked to me that we see home prices down to $600,000. Camera guy behind the camera wants to be in Dripping Springs. I don't blame him. It's a beautiful spot. Down 6.3%. But if we look from the peak, down from 675 down to 600, I bet you there is a lot of really nice homes in and around the $500,000 mark that you might want to be in. But let's look. So if we look over here, under 500K in Dripping Springs, an area that is a very popular area, there's quite a bit on the market right now. There's quite a bit. Look at this one, 2,000 square feet, 495. You got this one, 3 bed, 3 bath, 1,340 square feet. So I still am a big fan of Dripping Springs. I think if you can get in there now, it's definitely a good time. There's a lot of development happening in Dripping Springs, and it's about 30 minutes from downtown, as the crows fly, as they say. Let's look at pendings. Pendings are up. So pendings definitely went up. That is really good to see. Median days on market is down. Wow. So that's pretty good for us. So you're going to probably see some movement over the next few months in the Dripping Springs area. And look, there's a lot of good deals in Dripping Springs. Personally, I think if you want to get there, one of the top, in fact, when we did a video not too long ago about the top 5 school districts, in Dripping Springs was absolutely on that list. Let's look at Pflugerville next. You all want to know about Pflugerville. Everybody asked me about Pflugerville. Some great schools on the in there, some great area to live close to downtown. Pflugerville looks like it is a median price right now, down almost 5% at $400,000. If we're looking at what's closed recently, about an average of 2,200 square feet. Under 400K was the biggest bump, 45 closed there. If we look at the peak in 22, we look at prices at 450,000 down to 400K. And look, this year has been pretty moderate, not too big of price increases or decreases. 405, 410, down to 400 to 415 to 400 to 411, down to 400. So we're right on that track of where we've been all year long. Interesting. I wonder what demand has done with rates dropping. You tell me in the comment section what you think, but I'm going to say that it's gone up, and I would be completely wrong. It is down 22% pendings just in Pflugerville alone over the last, well, yeah, month to date. So in October. Now, again, we saw in September that some of these areas went really crazy. In fact, if I pull up the data here, so real quick, just showing you, this is everything. I did this in my last video, but I'm just showing you pending sales for the Austin Round Rock area for September were way up 20%. Right here, Bastrop up 40%. We are at Caldwell County was up 5.9%. That's San Marcos. Pending sales for Austin were up 9.5%. Hayes were up 28%. And Travis County as a whole was up 13%, while Williamson County was up 23%. So interesting stats there. You tell me in the comment section though, is Pflugerville the place that you want to pick up a property? There's quite a bit on the market. I mean, if we look at the numbers here on my website, so austinitehomes.com, good place. On the market right now, under 500K is 257 homes on the market. So there you go. For a single family home under 500K, that's quite a bit on the market. You tell me, Pflugerville, is that a spot that you're looking to pick up here in the future? Okay, let's look at Cedar Park next. One of my favorite places to sell homes, Cedar Park, great location. They've got a Costco right there. Good opportunity. Up 2.1%. 470,000 is the median sale price. So Cedar Park, look, up year over year, definitely still below that 2022 price point, right? We haven't seen crazy, maybe some crazy spikes, down to 420, up to 500, down to 435, up to 512, down to 470. So pretty interesting that we've seen these spikes. Overall, most of the sales that we're seeing are still well under $500,000. I mean, if you look right here, 18 between under 400K. So really good spot to be. I would imagine pending sales are up as we saw. Yeah, so definitely up 30%, closed to list price ratios at about 94, 93.7. So really good stats there for the Cedar Park area. I think Cedar Park's one of those areas you should still consider, even though the price is higher than maybe being in Kyle, Buda, Pflugerville at a $470,000 price point as the median, but that's not as bad as what it was. I mean, look, at the peak of the market, it was 640,000. So now you're down to 470 if you're looking at the peak. So you tell me. I really think Cedar Park's one of those places you should still look at. Now, one area that everybody talks about, in fact, they call it the Round Rock Austin MSA, is in its name, Round Rock. Round Rock's at 420,000, down 2.3%. If we look at the peak from where it was in the 2022 numbers, we're down from 461 down to 420. So you tell me, is Round Rock one of those places that you want to be? 39 days on market. Most of the sales still are under 400K. And if I were to pull up and look on my website, I imagine there's quite a few homes under this 420 price point. What do you think, though? Do you think that Round Rock's one of those places that continue to be? I think Round Rock, I mean, look, all of these MSA areas, if you can find something with a low tax rate, if you can find something new, and what this is 2,200 square foot is the median close price, around 2,200 square foot for under 420K. You tell me, is that a deal? I think it is. All right, let's talk about the one that you always ask about. Every time I hear a question about moving to Texas or moving to the Austin area, it is Leander. Leander because of the schools, Round Rock because of the schools. Both of those ISDs are rated really well. 500,000 is the median for Leander. So you tell me, is it worth it buying in Leander? Now look, if you go out Crystal Falls way, there are lots of homes that are up over this 500K price point. In fact, we just helped a client buy one of these homes that was on this cliff looking into this ravine. It was phenomenal. And that house is around $600,000. Amazing. So I really like Leander. I like that you get that Crystal Falls area and get the views. But you tell me, what's your favorite Leander place to live? But if we look, up 5.3%, last year was at 475. So really not too far off the peak price in September as well at 515,000. I would imagine this area is an area that saw more people buying in with interest rates dropping. Let's see if I am wrong or right. I'm definitely right. 9.3% up. Look at that, 9.3% up with 91.3% close to list price ratio. No, by the way, if you are a seller that's getting ready to sell and you want comps for your homes and you want a real estate agent that's going to do a ton of marketing, reach out because that's what we do. In fact, the camera guy behind is shaking his head, yes, because he's the one that does all the editing for these great videos. Okay, if you haven't gotten the area you wanted to see, drop your angry comment below telling me that you want to see Manor or Hutto, because we'll get to those two. But what else am I missing on this list? You tell me. $368,000 is the median for Manor. That is down 7.8%. If we look at this, man, last year really close to the peak, but we are down considerably. Pretty significant price increases and drops, really up to a median price of 400 at the peak here, down to 340. Wow. It just shows you that there you have those months where not a lot sells and you see prices really drop. But $368,000 for the Manor area. Now, one thing I always advise people when they look at Manor is to look at the tax rates, because some of those neighborhoods are really, really high. Look, Manor is popular because really it's only about 15 minutes outside of downtown, so it's a straight shot. I think traffic has added to that, maybe it's 20 minutes, but Manor's a good shot to downtown, and so that's why a lot of people are looking in this area. If we look at pendings are down 40%. Because look, if I could get a home for a median, what did we say the median was 368, but we can maybe get in Pflugerville for 400, or maybe a different area, I'm gonna maybe go to Pflugerville over Manor. And that's probably because the schools. You tell me if it's schools, or you tell me why you wouldn't be in Manor, or why maybe the pendings are down. But that's what this whole video is about. Is about you and I having a good conversation and dropping a comment below. Let's talk about the one that you always want to hear, because I swear every time I open the Austin Business Journal, there's a new article about this place is getting a new data center, this place is getting a new park, this place is getting a new business bringing their business there. Hutto, $385,000 as the median for the Hutto area, up 2.7%. Now, if we look at days on market is to 49 days on market, but $385,000. I'm curious if we're seeing a bump in demand in that area in Hutto. But again, like I said, everybody is bringing businesses to Hutto right now. We are up from last year's 2023 numbers. We are down from the peak at 420,000. Good information to know there. I think Hutto is one of those areas that should be on your radar just because of the development that is going on out there. Look, not too far from you is going to be the Samsung plant. Not too far the other way is Tesla. Not too far the other direction is Williamson County, where they're bringing in lots of stuff. So we are seeing pendings drop a little bit, down 52%, and that's just for October to where we are right now. So the sale to list price ratio is around 95%. So there you go. If I missed something, drop a comment below and I will try to respond to an area that you think that I missed on this list. Maybe there's a big glaring one that I didn't see. Overall, Jeremy Knight, the Knight Group, we appreciate you. If you do have anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in the Austin area, you can go to our website and get our information there. All of our information is down below. We have added agents to our team, so we'd love to help you. See you in the next video. Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe. That thing.